G'day everyone, this is Jackson Milan, the Wealth Mentor, co-founder and CEO of Aureus Financial.
Sam Panetta, COO and co-founder of Aureus Financial.
And welcome to our first Ask Aureus Anything question and answer live event. This is an interesting one. I think, look, I can answer this to a degree, but I'm going to divert you on to somebody else who knows a bit more about this than I do. So the question is, how are you best to build your brand in your industry? And this is something that we're focusing on a lot at the moment. Obviously, I'm trying to build the Wealth Mentor brand, which is my kind of thought leadership brand. I've written my first book, which is going to be published shortly. We're really trying to get out there to kind of build a brand around our business and through thought leadership. So I think I've gone about this a couple of times because, as most of you may know, I've had previous businesses. My first business was a fashion business, and fashion is all about brand. As soon as you think of brand, the things that normally come to mind for a lot of people are fashion-related brands.
That's true.
And so the branding exercise is very important. And I found that I struggled to build a brand around my fashion label back in the day. And I always struggled to put my finger on it. And I think I've nailed it down now. The reason was, and as I've spoken about a lot about my previous businesses, that I just wasn't passionate about it. It wasn't me. It was always a struggle. It was something I was always pushing because I didn't really want to be in that type of business. It was just a pursuit of money, and it oozed through every part of my business. It was just like, oh shit, I've got to keep doing this. And ultimately, as most of you may know, I wound that business up and donated all my stock to charity and closed it down. So in this business, particularly when we're talking about thought leadership around wealth and finance, it's something that I'm very passionate about. I come from humble beginnings. My parents never had really good advice. They made some financial decisions that led them down the wrong road in many instances. And it's been a big passion of mine, and the reason why I got in this industry in the first place was to try and be the catalyst for change, to help people like them get the right information, the right advice, the right guidance to make the best decisions for them. So I think that building a brand has to be congruent to who you are as a person. You can't fake it. It doesn't work. You might be able to do it for a while, but people will see through the facade. So you have to be honest, and you have to be true to yourself. And I think you have to be a little bit vulnerable as well. You have to be willing to share part of yourself. If you know straight away when you see someone on TV and they've got the full act on and like putting on this persona, and you go, oh, that person's full of shit. So you shouldn't do that. I think building a brand should be organic, and it should be a representation of who you are. I think you've got to ask yourself, are you willing to be this person and represent this brand for the rest of your life? And if you can honestly answer yes to that, then you're on the right path. All this kind of marketing stuff, I would say it's best to kind of just follow thought leaders that are in the industry that inspire you. If you're in business, I'm sure most of you have heard of Gary Vee. He annoys me, but he's good at what he does. Tony Robbins, all of these types of characters. I think that a lot of them are very good representations of their brand. And I think the reason why Gary Vee has been so popular, although because his personality is very polarizing. He's very in your face, hyperactive, over the top, and that's just who he is. So I think people appreciate that. So hopefully that answers your question.
Very good.